What's up, YouTube? Same door, different service call. We got this 20-ton Trane rooftop that's not cooling. I hear our condenser fans running. I don't know if you guys can see those. Unit's pretty tall. Anyways, this might be a call tech support kind of day, so you guys can watch me struggle too. Let's take this beast of a door off. Boy, heavy one. Okay, first impressions of this rooftop. It looks like it's been worked on a ton. We have wire identifications here, notes here. Cooling wise, circuit 1 is not on. Ambient temperature discharge, ambient temperature suction. Circuit 2, however, is running. Ice cold suction, pipe and hot discharge. We have both of our condenser fans on. We got to figure out why circuit 1 is not coming on. All right, we've got our high voltage panel open here. As you can see, compressor number 2 is energized, but it looks like it's maybe a third the capacity of this big tank on compressor 1. These are both scrolls, by the way. Let's bump this contactor. Yep, compressor 1 came on. Let's throw a gauge on it, make sure there's gas in there, and then we'll start checking our safeties, high pressure, low pressure, free stats, so forth and so on. Okay, well, before I could actually get my gauges on to first stage, for some reason, second stage just de-energized. There's no way it's at set point. It's warm down there. Circuit 1 has refrigerant in it, so we know we're good. Okay. Let's throw our discharge gauge on. And let's just see what it's doing. Our fan's on, so we'll be able to bump this and run it. There's our gauges pulling down. Head pressure is high, but we also have our front cover off. Let's just watch this for a second here. $425, $450. Oh my God. Even though we have our front panel off, so our air is bypassing our condenser, I still don't know, or don't think anyways, we should be approaching 500 PSI. Good discharge pressure for a 410A rooftop. With the door off, I would say on the high end would be 400. I don't think we should be approaching 5. All right, guys, well, let's take a look into this. Okay, so our first check's gonna be low pressure, high pressure switches here. We're gonna follow these leads back to our harness up top here, which I'm gonna show you now. So I've already cut the wire tie that held them, so we have our blue harness. By the way, I've shut the power off. This is our low pressure switch. We're gonna put our meter on ohms, continuity, resistance, and we have resistance through our switch. So that's our low pressure, we're fine there. Let's check our other two. Where's our high pressure switch? This looks like it here. And I believe our other one might be a loss of charge. Whoops. Oh no, that's the correct side. And correct wire. Same thing again. Leads go in. And for some reason my meter went to volts. But anyways, there we go. This circuit's also closed, or that switch is good. So we're okay there. Now let's check our high pressure here. And we're closed. So what I can see right now, the mechanical side of it, nothing's keeping our unit off there through our 24-volt circuit. This might be more of a control issue. I'm gonna call tech support now and just run things over with them quickly, and I'll show you guys what I learned. All right, we just talked to Trane. They recommended some pretty basic checks first and foremost. One of the obvious ones, which I was gonna do anyways, was put the unit in a test mode here. I'll show you guys how to do that now. And they were also questioning me what the system was operating off. It was operating off a zone sensor here, which we have wired in through these signal terminals. So 7 through 14 here. I know in the past, somebody had set it up on our RW, YG, all that standard traditional thermostat jazz, but you can't do that with these because the problem is we have our options board up here in the corner, which has been installed because they're going to put BAS here in the near future. And this J13 terminal here, which is unoccupied at the moment, is going to be occupied shortly. So we have a link between our RTRM board here, which is our J4 in that back corner there, that black, 2 black, red, and blue wires. And if you follow these back, you'll see this links, let me get you guys here, there we are. This here ties directly back in to our BAS board here. So the only way we can get this system to run on a traditional thermostat would be to disconnect that J4 terminal or take off this harness here. But the problem when you do that is the VFD and economizer is controlled off of this board. So what happens is our VFD, which is in there, will never come up to 60 hertz. So when that happens, and this big boy comes on here, C1, the problem compressor right now that will not come on, and we're running at half the airflow, this whole entire system will freeze up. So that's kind of where we're at. But anyways, we're gonna get into putting this unit in the test mode, and we're gonna verify that there's nothing wrong with this actual rooftop itself. It's probably more of a control issue. So let's get that now. Okay, we're gonna turn our power on. And what we're gonna do is wait for this unit maybe a couple minutes here just to set itself up, and then we're gonna install our jumpers from test 1 to test 2 for 4 seconds at a time. All right, it's been a couple minutes, so we're gonna put one inside of our jumper here on test 1, and all I'm gonna do is take the other side of it, and I'm not gonna hook it on because you have to pull it off after. When you're jumping out Trane rooftops, you can never leave a bridge there. You test it, well, you touch it for 4 seconds. So I'll show you now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let go. Our board clicked over. And what we're doing now is we're just gonna go through every sequence on this rooftop. So first step is going to be, sorry, I have a bug on my watch and it's stuck under my wristband. Jesus. Okay, well, now that I cleared that up, fucking bug, we're gonna jump it once more. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, release. Come on. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. And we heard our board click. So what's gonna happen now is our blower should start up any second. And there it goes. This unit also has a VFD, which is a variable frequency drive. So you see that there, we have 32 hertz. That will ramp up or down depending on our airflow demand. But theoretically, that should climb up to close to 60 hertz when this blower here is running at full speed. So we'll give this a few more minutes and we'll wait and see what happens with our fan speed and our cooling operation. Now we're gonna jump it again for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. Sometimes these are, there we go. Okay, so our cooling just came on. So you can see condenser fan motors are on. That's first stage. We'll get second stage on now. And we're gonna repeat process one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. Now you can see C1 energized, C2, compressor 2 energized, both running. Cool suctions to the touch, hot discharge on both. Both condenser fan motors are on. So what this proves now, guys, going back to the tech support call, this just goes to show that this unit here physically has nothing wrong with it. So none of our safeties are open. Our compressors don't have any issues. This entire unit here as a whole is working fine. So we're gonna try something else now. We're gonna go back to our zone sensor and see what we can do with that. Trane recommended that we take this zone sensor out of its location, bring it to the roof, and run a short piece of wire to verify that the wire in between the roof and here are okay. All right, we just got our 8 wires stripped back here. We're gonna wire this new 5-foot-ish piece of wire to our zone sensor here. So let's do that now. Red 14. Our controller is wired up, terminals 7 through 14. I've matched them on our RTRM board right there. And we're gonna turn our power on and see what happens. Power's on. Our remote sensor control is powering up. 80-degree ambient outside today. We're gonna set this down, set for 69 on cool. Takes a few minutes for the unit to turn on, but we'll check back in when it does. Okay, our controller just clicked over. As you can see, that flashing snowflake indicates that our cooling is on, but we have the same problem. So compressor 2 is energized and running, but C1 will not come on. Cool suction, nothing. We know that there's refrigerant in this system. We just cannot get a control signal to our contactor coil to energize this cooling. What we're gonna do now is we're probably gonna source out a new zone controller. We're gonna put our existing wires back that are run downstairs because they're fine. We just verified that our wires are not the issue. It's probably this stupid controller here. And we're gonna set it up. So we're gonna go pick that up now and we'll install it when we're back. All right, we just got back from picking up our brand new controller here. What a beauty. But in the information manual it came with, there's 3 options you can set this up for: a heat pump, constant air volume system, or a variable air volume, VAV, which is what we have. We have dump boxes, systems running off static pressure. So I just wanted to show you guys all the parameters. Here's our defaults. We might end up changing some of these. I'm not going to go through the process step by step when I set it up. If you follow this instruction manual, it should be pretty clear, but just wanted to clarify, we're setting up on a VAV system. Our new controller is installed. I just went through our scheduling. Let's go up to the roof and see if it worked. All right, after tons of headaches, we finally got her going. So we got compressor 2 on, compressor 1 on, suction line sweating away, ice cold here. That's the bigger of our 2 compressors there. So circuit 1 probably doing about 70% of our cooling. And circuit 2, the little guy that would only run for about 5 minutes and quit, is also on. We've had this on now for about 20 minutes, guys, so I'm happy about that. But what I found out was This board right here is an options board. This is for your building automation. This was added after the fact. I did not know that. These other boards came with the rooftop. This is directly tied into our main board, our RTRM board down here. I had to get rid of this board altogether because what this board does is it sees building automation as the priority control in this entire rooftop. So it doesn't matter if you have a 10K ohm resistor, if you have that Trane zone sensor, or if you try and run it off of that RWY, that will work, but you'll never get your fan speed because your VFD is not in play anymore. So, I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with getting this thing going. It's been a pain in the ass all day long. Any of you Trane guys out there that are super knowledgeable, please leave comments. Always willing to learn more about these puppies, but I don't know. If you guys learned anything new today, like, subscribe, and comment, and feel free to share your input on this service called Disaster. So, thanks guys. Take care.